What's going on? Welcome back to another video. So I titled this video 3 Blank Traits of Narcissists. And I titled the video that way because maybe y'all can help me fill in a blank. Maybe y'all can help me find the word that best describes these particular traits of the narcissist. Now, the 3 things that I'm going to mention is something that's not talked about as much as I wish it would be. And at the same time, I hope that it's not just me who noticed these things about the narcissist. Like, I don't want to be tripping and just begin to sound like that I'm just looking for something to talk about that's related to narcissism, because I'm not. This is something that's on my mind quite often, because I'm just trying to figure out what it is. I'm just trying to help myself identify what it is for me. So again, I'm not just looking for something, I'm not just picking out random things to talk about narcissists and their characteristics. And I'm also not talking about the regular characteristics of a narcissist that those of us who's dealt with narcissism had to have experienced. I'm not talking about like the gaslighting, the love bombing, the manipulating, the punishing. I'm not talking about those characteristics. I'm talking about the ones that are, I don't know, maybe it's just like a handful of narcissists. And I'm not saying that literally. Like, maybe it's just not as many narcissists who do these things. And it's probably why it's not talked about as much as I wish it would be. But the first thing that I noticed about the narcissist who I used to work with, she'd do this very rude thing that just wasn't normal to me. And I spoke about it. I spoke about these things. I spoke about all 3 of these traits in older videos. And the first one is the uncontrollable laughing that just happens at any random moment. Like, have any of you ever experienced, being in the company of a narcissist and out of nowhere they just start laughing? And the laughing continues. And and then it gets loud. Like, narcissists, they have this thing about them where they just get loud. And the laughing, it will continue. And the more she laughed, the louder she get. And you're wondering, like, what's wrong? Everybody will give her that look. But it's like they didn't want her to feel like she's doing something that's not normal. They didn't want her to feel away. So they would laugh along with her. But me, I would give her this strange look like, what's going on? Why is she laughing like that? I would feel like I'm the only one who's questioning it in my mind. But I wouldn't say anything to her about it. Because if they're not looking at it the way I do, I don't want to be the only one who's questioning it and they're looking at it as something normal, And so that's the first trait that stuck out to me the most about the narcissist, is the laughing. And like I said, I think about that quite often. I even Googled it, and I come up with the melatonin in our bodies when we're too tired. Sometimes, when we're just running out of fuel, it's a natural effect from melatonin that's released in our bodies that sometimes we'll just start laughing. And it's like, some people are describing it like some people, they just start laughing when they're too tired and need a nap. And I'm like, yeah, I can understand it to a very tiny extent. Like, I just don't see it being something normal. I don't get that out of people a lot. I just don't. I've only experienced it with her, with the narcissist. And so, like I say, leave your comments down below. Let me know you notice this trait about a narcissist, so that I won't feel like I'm the only one. And if I am, that's fine too. I don't mind questioning things on my own. So, moving on to the second trait. The second trait that's eerie about the narcissist, not so much eerie as it is something that just irked me. It made me cringe. And it made me frustrated. Like, it made me feel away. The laughing didn't make me feel away as much as this. But I'm talking about the yawning. It's like she would yawn when I'm in the middle of something that I thought we both were discussing on a level of a high interest. So I'm like, if we both are into this conversation, how do you just bust out yawn? You just break out yawning like, and she would do this all the time. It was rude and, just rude interruptions. And I would just wonder, like, why does she do this all the time? And it's like only with me. Because when we were associating, when it was a table full of us, she would never do it. But soon as everyone else get up and it's just me and her sitting alone at the table and we're still talking about whatever. And when I'm deep into the conversation, it's a yawn, and it just used to make me cringe. Again, I never question her about it, but it's something that I think about often. Why do they yawn and interrupt you in the midst of a deep conversation? What is that all about? Again, leave your comments down below. Let me know if you've ever experienced this with a narcissist. And then the third thing is, I mentioned this in older videos as well, because I never get any feedback on anyone else who noticed this. It's how rough she'd handle things. It stuck out to me the most after the confrontation and after I went no contact with her in the final discard stage, is when I heard it the most. It was loud and clearly to me that anything she handled, she wouldn't handle it with care. She would handle it roughly, like she didn't care, like she's trying to make noise and get her point across. And the staring, she would do it during the time that she's staring at me when she's like a few feet away from me. That was cringy. That was cringy. Then the stare. Now, all of us have experienced the stare. Today, I went back to work for the summer camp. Y'all know I've been off from work since the 22nd or the 23rd. Went back to work yesterday. Something I noticed about a person who has like traits of narcissism, but I can't quite put my hand on it yet. And y'all know we're sensitive now. It's like our antennas are up even more so once we've experienced our first, dealings with a narcissist. And so it's like you're kind of on edge with people, but you don't want to be like that. It's just like a natural after going through that type of situation for so long, or abuse. And if y'all know, I reference a lot of my videos to movies, horror films, even not so much horror films, thrillers. And y'all know the trailer with the It Part 2 and with the grandmother, and she's a distance away from the young lady who's in her house, but you can see her down the hallway staring. This is what I got today from somebody, and it made me feel the way it made me feel. It put me in that moment with that staring. So I'm like, Lord, please, not another one. So just let me know in the comments down below if y'all experienced this. And thank you for watching. That's it. I'll talk to you soon.